Howdy do, my Rangeroos. I do want to welcome you to this whole video. Haha, whole. We're going to be working our way towards actually making these holes. Now, I know you might be thinking, working our way, that's redonkulous. They're just holes. I should be able to do this. But before we get there, making this right here, we've got a variety of things that I want to show you and talk to you about. The first off is how to actually make these holes. Otherwise, you're going to be very frustrated. So I am going to minimize this right here. And I'm just going to, and please work along with me, we're going to make some scrap parts in this first video, just so you can learn some of the tools. So File, then New, then Part. Start a 2D sketch, choose the XY axis, and now I am just going to draw a rectangle. So I clicked on the rectangle, go to the origin, and doesn't matter what size it is, just drag and drop upper right, click on Finish Sketch, then go ahead and extrude it. Does not matter any size or anything, just as long as you have a basic block right here in order to work with. So we've got a few things that I want to show you today. The first off is putting in what are called points, because a hole is different than a circle. We have a hole tool up here. You might be used to drawing circles as holes, but circles and holes are completely and totally different. So start a 2D sketch right here. Okay, so I click 2D sketch, and I clicked on the face of that object. Now, right here, you're going to see a tool that says Point. Click on Point, and go ahead and put a point right there. You might have difficulty seeing it. It's just a small gray cross. Right-click, and OK, and we have a point right there. So you can put the points wherever you want. When you're actually working on this project, there's going to be, different dimensions and everything that we put the points, but every hole starts with a point. When you're done with that, go ahead and click Finish Sketch right there. You can still see the point is right there. Once the sketch is finished, we can then go ahead and click the Hole tool. Now, when we click the Hole tool, you can see that it automatically defaults to specific holes. So let's talk about this pop-up window right here, because this is where everyone gets frustrated. You're used to just doing, willy-nilly work all willy-nilly, but now we have to be more specific. So first off, let's talk about termination. This tells you the distance right here. So this, you can see, is a through hole. You can see that in this right here. We can change the diameter. Let's say it's 0.5. 0.5. So the hole got bigger. 0.75 is even bigger. 1 is even bigger. But you can see in the ghost image right here that it's going all the way through. Now let's say we go to distance right here. Distance will allow us, if you see this measurement, how far the hole actually goes in. So let's keep it this 1-inch diameter, okay? Now watch, I'm going to change the distance to 0.25. And you can see that that hole now does not go all the way through. If I change the distance to 0.125, you can see it closes up even more. So this is the through hole tool. Now, if you remember from our whole lesson the other day, we also have countersinks, spot face, which we didn't talk about. It's more professional engineering, and counter bore. So we're going to stick with countersink and counter bore. So let me go ahead and change the diameter to 0.25. Okay, so it's a small hole, and I'm going to go back to through right there. So this is where we started. Now, if I want to do a countersink, so you see countersinks in furniture installation or automobiles, I can click countersink, and you can see the geometry right here has changed dramatically. We still have a through hole. It goes all the way through right there, but I can change the opening to, say, 0.5. And you can see that right over here, the opening opened up. I can go to 1 inch, where the opening is much larger. I can change the degree right here of the fastener based on the screw or the bolt that I'm going to be inserting. I can also do distance right here, which let's say I want 1 inch distance right there, 0.25 in diameter right there. It's a 1 inch open. Now I'll click OK, and if I rotate this, you can see that I've got a large countersunk opening, and I've got the 0.25 diameter hole. Now here's where we get some fun going on. Let's say you completely mess this up. This menu right here, I can right-click on the hole, put Edit Feature, and it comes right back up. So let me show you that again. This hole right here, I can go ahead, rotate it. Oh no, it's wrong. I did something wrong. Instead of trying to delete it or back arrow, I can hover over the hole right over here, right click, edit feature, and now I'm right back to the editing menu. Let's say I was supposed to do a counter bore rather than a counter sink. So I can go ahead, hover right over the counter bore, and let's see. Yeah, that's the spot face. There's the counter bore. And I can go ahead and change the counter bore. So the difference between the counter sink, you see these angled portions, and the counter bore is the square portions. I can change the opening up here. Remember, look for the arrows. So my counter bore is 0.5, let's say. How deep does the counter bore go? Let's say it's 1/8 of an inch, or 0.125. What's the distance from the top of the material or the top of the bore to the bottom? Let's say it's 0.5. And what's the diameter? Let's say it's 0.125. So I can change absolutely all these sizes all the time. Now, a fun, interesting thing is the drill point. Picture this as actually being a manufactured object. Do we use a flat drill point, or do we use a drill point which is angled right there, and we can change the angle? You really won't be doing that this much in this particular class, but it does exist. Okay, so let's see what we got right there, and there is our hole, just like that. Okay, now let's say I am very angry at this particular hole. It didn't work out, and I'm like, curse you, hole, curse you. Why? I can actually go ahead and delete the entire thing. Go over to this menu, right-click, delete. And then it'll ask me consume sketches and features. That's talking about the point in the middle. Does it want me to delete the point as well? So I'll click OK, and it's all gone again. Now let's say you have to put in multiple holes. So start 2D sketch right here. Choose the face of the object. Use the point. And I'm going to put 3 different points right there. Okay, so you can see I've got 3 different point there, point there, point there. Finish sketch just like we did before. And I'm going to click the hole tool, and it automatically goes to default and everything on the last hole that I used. So let's go back to what we had originally, the through hole. Just right there, okay? Now, this is where you run into a problem, and you're going to go, teacher, what do I do? I don't want you to do that, because in most of these projects that we're working on, you're going to have multiple hole diameters. So ready? To deselect these holes, please listen. Deselect the holes, deselect the holes, deselect the holes. On my keyboard, I'm going to hit the control key. So you cannot see that right now. I am hitting the control key, and I am going to clicky here. Oops. Try this one again. Hole, click, click. Okay, so again, if you didn't see, we have all the points right here. Click the hole tool. I am clicking the control key on my keyboard. Click the hole I don't want. click the hole I don't want, and I'm left with the hole that I do want right there. So that is, let's say that's the, I want to make a through hole 1/4 inch diameter. Click. Now you're going to go, wait a second, those points disappeared. Oh, woe is me. What do I do now? My life is over. And you're going to want to go, teacher, what do I do? What you want to do, come over to this menu right here. Click that. See, I click this arrow right here, and we can see the sketch. Right-click on the sketch, and I am going to put Share Sketch. Okay, so now you can see those are back. Let's look at this again. Let me get unshare. So you get here, and the points are gone. Right-click, Share Sketch, and the points are back. Now we can go ahead and hole. If you don't want the next hole, we can hit the Control key, deselect the hole that we want. Let's say that this one is a counter bore. I'm not going to mess with any of that. Okay, everybody's happy. Hooray, hooray. I want another hole, and this one is a countersunk. Oops. So hang on, there we go, 0.5. There we go. So now we have a through hole, we have a counterbore hole, and we have a countersunk hole. I know that this is kind of difficult. I know that you're used to just drawing shapes, but if you're going to become an engineer, you have to actually take this stuff seriously and begin to become exact. Now, the last thing that I want to show you, let's say you don't have this menu, because it's quite common for people to accidentally get this menu off of here. What you do, View, User Interface, and this is all the stuff that you see. So Model, you can see I click Model, that menu goes on and off. If I click on Navigation Bar over here, that's gone. View Cube, so all of these control everything you see. And again, from the Model tab, you go to View, User Interface, and you can control everything you see. So I know that this is a really complicated video. I want you to make this basic sample block. It's going to counteract a whole heck of a lot of problems when you actually start working on the assignment. Because we're going to go through and be very exacting with this whole assignment. Okay, everybody, that is it for this particular video. Stop this video, rewind, and replay as many times as you need in order to get the concept.